All right, folks, we are back. Sinister Supreme team, what's going on? Check it out. Look what we have to install and upgrade today. We're going to upgrade the lower trailing arm mount with this Losi aluminum lower trailing arm mount set for the Super Rock Rey. If you haven't checked out my previous video where I did an upgrade of the lower aluminum trailing arms, I'll leave a card right here so you can view that video. In hindsight, that video should have been done with this product right here at the same time, but no big deal. Hindsight is 20/20 and we can still get this done. At least you'll have another reference point or reference video that's going to aid you in case you decide to do this same upgrade. So, cue up that intro footage.
Sinister Production.
Supreme team, welcome back. For those who have been here before, thanks for coming back and checking out another video. For those who are new to the team, thanks for subscribing. And if you are here on a whim and you want to subscribe, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, thumbs up, leave a comment. It really helps out this channel in the long run. And as always, I am Jay of Jay Sinister Productions, and I'm here to provide just another vector on various subject matter such as casual cycling, radio control, everyday carry, and product reviews and unboxings. As always, I also have a few projects in the works. Consider subscribing to my channel so you can keep up with all of my latest video releases. So with all that said, let's jump right into this video. Right here, what we have in front of us is the Lima Oscar Sierra 354009. That is LOS 354009 Losi aluminum trailing arm mount set. That's right, folks, it's a set. You get two things, a left and a right set for the Super Rock Rey. This particular set was purchased off of eBay for about $34, but if you do a simple search online, you'll see the price ranges turn up from anywhere between $32 and $34. This is without any discounts, taxes, or shipping included. As I said, you receive a left and a right mount with no hardware. No hardware means you will reuse the existing hardware on your Super Rock Rey to accomplish this upgrade. You'll need the following tools in order to complete this upgrade. One 5/64 inch hex head, and you'll need that to remove the body panels if you choose to. You don't have to, but if you choose to, remove the body panels. You'll also need one 2.5 millimeter hex head, and this is to remove the actual trailing arm mount from the Super Rock Rey so that you can install the aluminum trailing arm mount. And you'll also need some sort of driver, and in this case I use my trusty Makita, and I'll leave a description of this particular model here so you can know which one to get if you want. Great tool, time saver. Love that it also goes into the gun form or regular traditional screwdriver form. And that's it. That is all the tools you need outside of one more thing, just one more, and that's patience. Anytime you work with RC and you're doing upgrades from what the manufacturer has specified for the vehicle when it comes off the factory line, you need to take patience in making those changes. If you have all these tools and patience, you're ready to rock and roll. So, as always, we're going to do the first side together, and then we'll wash, rinse, and repeat for the other side, which I'll speed up, drop those dope beats on, and get it all finished. So, with all that said, let's bring up the star of the show and get this started. All right, team, let's go ahead and get our parts ready. Again, we got the Lima Oscar Sierra 354009 aluminum trailing arm mount set for the Super Rock Rey. We'll pop that out of the plastic. Discard the paperwork. Whoop. And as you can see, these are some pretty well made, light. Let me get into the cam here. Here's your right, indicated by the R. And guess what? There's a left, indicated by the L. Pretty simple. Everything's cut well, anodized. It's got a nice color to it, like a gunmetal type color. It's going to go good with the aluminum trailing arm. So let's go ahead and put those to the side. We will do the right side first. Grab our hex head wrench and tool of choice. Going to do the 5/64 hex. I've already pre-removed 2 of the fasteners. There's 1 and number 2. All right, we can take the side panel removed, set that to the side along with our 2 additional screws. Now, to remove the actual lower trailing arm mount, there's going to be 2 fasteners or 2 screws you'll have to remove. One is here, which attaches the lower trailing arm to the mount, which the mount is then attached to the body by 1 other screw, which is in here, but it is accessible from the bottom. So let's go ahead and flip the Super Rock Rey on its side and remove that screw. Okay, now we got the new angle. So we're going to remove 2 fasteners or 2 screws. One on the bottom plate of the chassis, which is located here. And then the other, which is located here, which attaches the aluminum, or if you still have the stock plastic lower trailing arm, to the mount. So we'll go ahead and remove the lower trailing arm screw first. And to do that, we're going to use our 2.5 millimeter hex, like so. Pop it out. Now there is a nut that's here that's captured, may fall out. That's why I kept one finger here to keep that nut from falling as I was removing this screw. Now you can tell now that we cannot, it's going to be difficult to remove the lower trailing arm because you have some tension from the rear shock, but it can be done, which I just did. I just simply pushed up and remove the lower trailing arm from the mount. So now we can take the same hex into this screw here and remove the mount. Conveniently, the screws for both the mount, let me get that to focus a little better, and the frame are both the same size, so you don't have to worry about getting them confused. We'll put those down here for now. All right, and once you have removed or pushed your aluminum or plastic, again, lower trailing arm to the side, all you simply do is grab a hold of both ends or both sides of the lower trailing arm mount, give it a little tug, and it slides right out. And there we have the right. And also, in case you get these confused, if you look closely here, you probably won't be able to see it on camera, but if you do, there's a little R, there's a Romeo right there to let you know you have removed the right mount. We'll do a little comparo. Here we have the stock mount, and now we have the upgraded aluminum mount. And there is a side by side. All right, so we're now ready to put this in, but before we go any further, you need to remove the nylon lock nut from the stock mount. Place it in this cutout right here. On the new aluminum mount, it will fit right down into there. My fingers are in the way. There we go. Fits right in. Let me get that back in frame. Sorry about that. Right in there. Keep one finger or your thumb, whichever is easiest, on that nut. It will move around a bit. It has some play in it. Let me come back into frame so you can see that. It will move some. Not a problem. Get that back in. Again, slide it in with the R facing down. Keep a hold of that nylon lock nut. Slide it in place. Give it a little push. Then take your lower trailing arm, slide it in. Grab one of your screws. Slide that through the trailing arm and into the nut. It will capture, hold it. Excuse me. And go ahead and drive your screw in. Hold on to that nut. And there we have it. It's in, it's tight, it has the freedom and play that it had previously, no problem. Then you take your remaining bolt, your screw, excuse me, place it into the frame where the hole is already pre-cut. Everything should line up. And you reinsert. There is a difference. I digress. Let me back this out. I made a mistake. One screw is a flathead, and the flathead goes into the frame. Let me take that out now. And the button head actually goes through the mount, through the trailing arm, and into the lock nut. So let me fix that now right there on camera. This is no cuts on most pieces. We go ahead and do this straight through. So if I make a mistake, you won't make that same mistake. Get that all lined up. All right, my nut popped out. That's okay. And there we go. We're all nice and tight. Now you take your flathead back into the frame. Start it by hand. Take your hex and screw it back in. And let me make sure I've got the torque down right. Let me drop this down to a 4. And there we go. Now we have just replaced the right side. Here's the stock again. And now we have the aluminum lower trailing arm mount installed onto the aluminum right side lower trailing arm, step by step together. Now let's flip this bad boy around, and we're going to do the left side, speed it up with music, and get to the end. Here we go. Sinister Supreme team, we have come to the end of another simple upgrade for your Super Rock Rey. As I stated earlier, I should have done this when I did the aluminum lower trailing arms, linking another card now. But again, hindsight is 20/20. Anytime you do an aluminum upgrade and you can go aluminum to aluminum, you should do so. Just like with the rear suspension, sooner or later I should get a new rear suspension housing so I can have all aluminum to aluminum. As you know, aluminum parts and upgrades over time, they're going to offer you more durability in the long run. And strictly dependent upon your personal aesthetic that you're looking for, this will make your rig stand out from all the rest. Anybody, and then when I tell you this, anybody, I really mean it. Anyone can complete this install. But I do recommend doing this at the same time that you do the aluminum lower trailing arms. You don't have to. You can do one or the other. The trailing arms before the mount before the trailing arms is totally up to you. But if you do the mount and the trailing arms, I would also suggest and recommend that you use the same manufacturer. So I stayed strictly with Losi on this, so I know that the mount and the lower trailing arm will fit together. On another note, you may be asking a question, hey, you've been doing all these upgrades, but where are your run videos? Well, I haven't done one yet, but if you check out my DX5 rugged GoPro mount video I just did, I'll link another card here, you'll see that now I have a means of recording my RC run solo, and there'll be more of these running vids in the future. But let me caveat, I don't do any bashing, and that's not my cup of tea. So it's just going to be some plain runs, little speed runs here and there. I may hit a bump and do a jump at one point or another, but no true bashing. And with any vehicle of this size, as any of you already know who have one or who have been researching this, batteries for this joker are mad expensive. So I recently ordered a set and I'll review them once they arrive, and I've tried them out a few times. But that's the main reason I should say why you haven't seen any run videos, is because I didn't have the means to record them the way I wanted, and I also wanted to get my batteries in line before I go out, and these batteries are not cheap. You can find them on sale, especially if you're going to run 4S and 4S for an 8S total. It's going to cost you a few dollars. And that brings me up to the next point. Speaking of expenses, if you'd like to help me out in any way, expense-wise, to produce, maintain, and also buy equipment for these videos, check out the description box below for a link to my PayPal and my Patreon page. And we at J Sinister Productions don't always have the means to outlay the cash for all of these products all the time, but we want to continue bringing you the best of what we can produce. The Patreon page is a work in progress. I haven't fully got it up and running, although you can become a Patreon. Remember, the donos will always be low, and every bit will help. So you don't have to donate at all. Just keep watching the videos and enjoy them. Like, share, and subscribe. You can help me out by doing that. But if you'd like to help me out financially to make sure I can produce these videos, maintain my equipment, buy new equipment. Speaking of, I'm redoing my recording studio. You'll see that soon once I get all the items in. I'd really appreciate it. But mostly I appreciate you sticking around and viewing this video to the end. If you like what you saw, as always, click one of those thumb buttons, consider subscribing to and sharing my channel with your friends. Thanks again, fam. As always, this is Jay of J Sinister Productions, exiting stage left.
J Sinister Productions.